We have a serious problem, and it's not just at our border. America is swiftly but quietly being infiltrated, invaded, and attacked on multiple fronts by the Chinese government, which is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP for short. Now, from the heartland to Hollywood, the CCP is believed to be targeting nearly every aspect of American life. Many government officials and business leaders believe the CCP is surveying and harassing American citizens on U.S. city streets, restricting freedom of speech on college campuses, attempting to control our food supply chain, stealing our technology, and influencing how we actually think.
We consistently see that it's the Chinese government that poses the biggest long-term threat to our economic and national security.
The CCP has hacked into American critical infrastructure.
CCP hackers access computer systems of about 24 critical entities, including in Hawaii and in Guam. The hackers even attempted to access the Texas electric grid.
A Chinese surveillance balloon entered U.S. airspace and spent the next 8 days traveling over the majority of the continental United States.
Just across the Brooklyn Bridge, this nondescript office building has a dark secret. An entire floor hosted an undeclared police station of the Chinese National Police.
Imagine telecommunications going down so people can't use their cell phone. People start getting sick from polluted water. Trains get derailed. Air traffic control system, port control systems are malfunctioning. This is truly an everything, everywhere, all at once scenario.
We've become numb to it as a nation. It's estimated that 80% of American adults have had all of their private data stolen by the Communist Party of China.
If we do not address this threat, then the CCP will have the ability to turn off the lights for everyday Americans, shut down cities, and cause massive loss of American lives.
Now, I want to be perfectly clear here. I'm talking about the threat the Chinese government and the CCP pose to America. I am not talking about the Chinese people or Chinese Americans, for sure. The Chinese people oftentimes are the biggest targets and victims of China's authoritarian government and ruling party. Many believe our most fundamental freedoms as Americans are at stake here. Now, John says that his freedom and livelihood is at stake as a fourth-generation farmer in Virginia. He says he may lose everything because of the Chinese government. Take a look and you'll understand.
China's really quietly stealing the agriculture sector in the United States. Will we be able to stay on the land and continue to farm? Farmers depend on good farm ground to make it or break it. Before China started coming into this area, I could buy decent farm ground for $2,500 to $3,000 an acre. Now it's $15,000, $20,000. I simply can't compete with that. The land is everything to me. That's what my daddy told me growing up. This land is everything. My forefathers were slaves on the Boyd plantation. After the Civil War, a lot of black families stayed on these plantations, and you either became two things: the sharecropper or the ability to purchase land. My great-grandfather bought 117 acres from the Boyd plantation, and I still have some of those original acres today. And now I'm faced with China coming into the area and taking those freedoms away by purchasing the land, by buying the companies. I'm really at their liberty. They're now controlling the buying stations, the grain elevators, and they're controlling the food. Stealing our seed technology. So this is our food security. This is national security. For me to lose the farm would be losing myself. This is who I am.
Poor sleep impacts productivity, focus, and energy, making it difficult to tackle daily tasks effectively. Tossing and turning through the night leaves many feeling drained and unmotivated. Beam's Dream Powder offers a solution. This science-backed healthy nighttime blend is clinically shown to improve sleep, helping users fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed without grogginess. Dream combines powerful, all-natural ingredients like reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin, creating a blend designed for consistent, restful nights. It has become an essential part of nightly routines for those seeking better sleep. The ultimate sleep refresh for the new year. Try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Dr. Phil and use code Dr. Phil at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Dr. Phil and use code Dr. Phil for up to 40% off. John, I have to first say that is an amazing story.
Thank you.
I mean, you talk about a family history and deciding to do what you wanted to do.
Yes, so my grandfather taught us how important land ownership was. Every step you take, every step you make requires land ownership, and never, never, never sell the farm. And that's when my father didn't sell it, and he passed it on to me. And hopefully, if I can hold on, I'll be able to pass those original acres on to my children as well.
And now that's being threatened.
That is correct. And now China's come in, Dr. Phil, buying land at these auctions and running land prices, through the roof. And people need to understand farmers need good farm ground in order to compete. It's not like a job where you go out and you work 20 years and you get a raise. Farmers rely on good farm ground to expand their farming operation so that they can increase their revenue. And when you have the opportunity, Dr. Phil, to buy adjoining land that joins your farm or in that surrounding area where you farm at, farmers try to jump on that opportunity.
Yeah.
So
you would have adjoining land that you could have purchased in the past for, say, $3,500 an acre. They're coming now paying $15,000, $20,000.
$20,000 an acre. And guess what that does to property taxes for a poor farming families just barely holding on and paying your annual taxes. It runs the taxes through the roof. And what's troubling to me is the federal government isn't doing anything about it.
Now, when these auctions happen, who represents them at those auctions?
Sometimes, Dr. Phil, be the little white guy with the ball cap that's bidding for them. And they set up these dummy corporations and fractional corporations. And then when the deed is recorded, it's owned by China. They're really savvy about how they moved into this country and infiltrated the agriculture sector in the United States.
All right, so they buy up everything around you. Then you get all of this grain and you go sell it. And where you sell it is owned by who now?
It's owned by China, Smithfield Foods. And that's what people don't understand. They say, well, can't you just go sell somewhere else? Dr. Phil, farmers sell within 1 hour's driving distance to their farming operations. And I'm no different. It's about harvest time, time sensitive. You go out, you harvest, you get a truckload and you sell it, you come back and you repeat that process until you finish.
And so you can't expand your farm and you're selling to a Chinese buyer. If they decide to stop buying,
I'll be in trouble.